talk about three subjects. What is the Siskiyou Trust? What it means to be lost at sea? And the language fraud.
You can't see where the root of this goes to, but it all goes to the Vatican. In other words, England owns America, and the Vatican owns England, and basically the entire world is owned until Jesus Christ returns. The Pope is the vicar of Christ, which means he owns you as cattle.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 48 years of study. I'm going to give you a secret. Nothing in this world is what you think it is. Nothing operates the way you think it does.
What do you mean?
Nothing operates the way you think it does.
What do you mean?
Government does not work the way you think it
It's
does.
not about people voting for a president.
No, it has nothing to do with that. We're talking money. We're talking control, corporations, big business, period.
All big business and money.
Period. End of sentence.
All debt accumulated is worth everything you buy. Shoes, clothes, cars, houses, food, whatever you buy, you're doing nothing but accumulating debt because you're purchasing it with USD, promissory notes. Basically a promise to give you some cash near in the future. So you're buying every single thing with credit.
March 9, 1933, the Emergency Banking Relief Act defines the American people as the enemy, legally, of the United States government because of the U.S. bankruptcy, through which the private international Federal Reserve System became the government.
You want to trace back all the wars and bloodshed and all the corruption going on around the world? People talk about the Jewish conspiracy, the Jews this and the Jews. No. Like everything else, it's just a front.
Right.
You want to go back to the people who are really doing this stuff all around the world to us? The Vatican. You can bet on it. That's why Hollywood is making movies like this last thing. What was it with Angels and Demons and Da Vinci Code? And they're talking about the Vatican and all the occult stuff. Let me tell you something. Rome has been ruling Europe for almost 2,300 years. The Vatican has been ruling Europe for at least 1,600 years. All of the royalty and celebrities and royalty of Europe are royalty. They rule by divine right, right? Well, where do you get the divine right from? You get it from the Holy Father. God didn't give you any divine right. Nobody's talked to God lately. You don't need to talk to God. The Vatican will decide if you are one of their boys. And if you're one of their boys, the Pope will then, bless you with like they did Michael Corleone and the Godfather 3 and with the sword and all.
It's only a certain amount of people. The elite is made up of about 3,500 people. It's about 3,500 people that run this whole fucking world.
You hear people talking about World War III coming, and this is kind of funny. You can't start World War III until you finish up World War II. And Russia and Japan never agreed on these fucking islands. So here we are, 70 whatever years later, and they're still not settled on these islands. It's a stalemate. Their meeting didn't go well. At least that's how they project it. You're under martial law. Law of the sea. It'll take you years to figure out that everything in your universe is fake.
It's the language fraud that we need to address. Because they're writing in a fiction language, under maritime law you have to give closure, one word, one meaning per sentence, and a full stop at the end of every sentence to stop the thought. So, once you learn to syntax a document, and it doesn't matter how big these people are, you'll be able to disqualify under the Chief Federal Judge David Wade Miller's law technology.
The language English is called legalese, which is designed to make you agree verbally and written to all created law dictionaries. Basically, the language English came from law dictionaries.
You snooze, you lose, people. Now listen, the people that you're hoping are going to come and save you are setting up a fake invasion of aliens and a fake savior, the reptilians. Everything's going to come undone right before your eyes.
Ancient cultures all over the world who are describing non-human entities in the unseen, which is almost what isn't unseen to the humans in the way that I've just described. Many taking a reptilian form. And that has passed through the ages. And then you meet people in places like America, because once you start talking about this, you become someone that people will give information to, because they can see a way of getting out to the public arena, because you won't think they're crazy. And they're telling you the same. You know, people who've been in mind control projects, people who've been in government projects, who've interacted with these entities in underground bases. And they're describing what the ancients described.
You're the slave class, people, the food class. These guys will eat you, they will certainly rape you, and drink your blood.
We, like I said earlier, live in a frequency band, a band of frequency. Anything beyond that frequency we can't see, we're not aware of. And, you know, people have no trouble accepting that the old analog system of radio and television stations are different frequencies sharing the same space without interfering with each other unless they're really close on the dial. In the same way, worlds or realities, it's a better term, are sharing the same space without interfering with each other unless they're very close on the dial. And at that point where they're close on the dial and there is some form of interaction, that's what we call ghosts and paranormal activity. And so these, not just reptilian, but other non-human entities are operating just outside of the human sight. And they have to have vehicles within our frequency band, within our world, that represent their interests, that are basically vehicles for them to manipulate our society. And so particular bloodlines were created that are hybrids.
The truth is hiding in plain sight, people. You're just too fucking stupid to see it. Now, if you love anybody, you'll place on a piece of paper, blood over intent, and then you'll write, I intend to usher in heaven on earth, place 3 drops of blood on it, and then publish it right beside the rest of our videos, blood over intent.
You are essentially lost at sea, and you are permanent debtors, and the explanations can go on and on. The point that I'm making is that you can come out of it any time by having a live life claim, of course.
So let's just be real for a minute, that most of the people I know say, oh my God, Lauren, what is this cult that you're involved in? But cult is just culture. It's a culture you don't understand. I was recently told that blood over intent is scary, you know, because God wouldn't want you to hurt yourself. But let me tell you that He sent His Son in that book to be bruised for the transgressions of the world.
Now, religion is a corporation. It's all the religions of the Western world, especially in the Western world, all religions operate under maritime admiralty law.
Cash ain't got no value in my life. Cash don't mean nothing. It's a piece of paper, especially USD. It's not even backed by a natural resource. If it was to plummet, you can't do shit with it but set the shit on fire and hope that it create heat. Can't trade it, ain't nobody, it's worthless.
You get yourself a live life claim. Now, a live life claim is under full colon David's language, okay, and there are other ways of getting yourself out. In fiction, the Vatican has its own ways of doing things, which is like a thumbprint, 2 people witnessing that you are who you are in parchment paper, and they scan it, they scan the DNA, the blood thumbprint and things like that to say you are who you are. So there are many mechanisms that you can come out of this Escoview Trust and go into the world of live life claim.
And just a fact, Motu Proprio, MOTUPROPRIO, Google it. It was a bill passed by the Pope in 2013, 2014, one of those years. And this might answer the question why some people like, oh, how did Donald Trump actually admit that he ain't paid taxes in all these years, or how many ever years? How the hell wasn't he paying taxes? How is he president? He wasn't paying taxes. Motu Proprio was a bill passed by the Pope in 2013, 2014 that freed up all of the funds in the Federal Reserve to the general public. This wasn't on breaking news. They wasn't finna put this on CNN, and they wasn't gonna interrupt regularly scheduled program to tell you guys this.
For the most part, motu proprio pretty much means that there is no law. Pretty much you are of your own accord, and anything that's made by man cannot be above man. So for you to be charged with a crime or with something of that nature, you first have to consent to it or be in agreement that you are accepting these charges, you are accepting the consequences of these charges. And it's very important to understand what motu proprio means, and Pope Francis has been very adamant on pushing this out, and he's been doing this for, almost a few years now, actually. However, a lot of people really haven't heard about it.
There is no law, and to date, nobody has been able to show that there is a law for the average American citizen working day in and day out to pay an income tax.
But We the People Foundation for Constitutional Education put a full-page ad in the USA Today on July 7th, 2000. And within the body of that ad was a $50,000 challenge for anyone that could show the law. And to me, $50,000 is a lot of money. So I went after that and did the research based on the fact that I thought, let's put this baby to bed. I'm hearing all these rumors. I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'll answer these people's questions that are asking me, and then I'll win this $50,000. And, based on the research that I did throughout the year 2000, and that I'm still doing, I have not found that law. I've asked Congress, we've asked a lot of people in the IRS commissioners, helpers. They can't answer, because if they answer, the American people are going to know that this whole thing is a fraud.
Do people know that?
No. People don't know any of this. None of this. Nobody, because it doesn't have anything to do with football. So who the hell needs to know about any of this stuff? I need to know, because I don't like being played for a fool.
Yeah.
I want to know who's running this country.
You don't want to be manipulated.
I refuse to be manipulated. I want to know exactly who's doing what. I want to know how they're doing it, and how are they messing with my mind and my money and my family. So I want to know. 99% of people I run into, they couldn't care less as long as the beer's cold and football's on. They don't care.
We need to get out of the mind state that materialistic things is what defines you. These nigger trinkets ain't nothing. It's called capitalism. It's called supply and demand.
Bob, is there a chance the world is going to change, that we're moving into a higher conscience? No chance.
I don't think so. I think there are individuals like yourself and others like me and others like us who are beginning to awaken, but there is no possible chance that the human race is going to wake up and figure anything out, because this kind of knowledge I'm talking about does not have anything to do with football or sports or
the mind
movies.
Control.
Right. So as long as the human race is interested in the Hollywood starlets or football or the silly sports or all this other silliness that goes on with entertainment, then the human family as a race on the earth are not going to be evolving upward. We're just going down.
There's an army of soulless beings. You can't see it, but the power of the universe is being used against you because you're snooze, you're lose, and you're fucking retarded. And I'm telling you, there's one sure way to undo everything. We need to whap our magic right back at them with blood over intent. This place is powered by intent. It's a computer program. We can undo the entire thing with our blood.
This is your spiritual currency. This is your proof of life to your creator. You upload it into the ether with the tag, title, and description, blood over intent. This makes you blood thick with Satan so you can cross the frost bridge.